Hello, everyone. Good day. I am Charlie May Naldaza, and I'm going to share my knowledge about normal and skewed distribution. Let's say first the normal distribution. Normal distribution, also called Gaussian distributions or bell curve. So, the normal distribution is also called bell curve because the shape of this curve is like a bell. Now, notice that this curve is divided into two parts. We have the left side and then we also have the right side. And these two sides are symmetric to each other. In a normal distribution, data is symmetrically distributed with no skew. Meaning, if I fold this side through this side, no, the same shape is happening. And there's no skew happening. Another important feature of a normal curve is their tail are asymptotic and divided into segments. Asymptotic means this curve is approaching closer and closer to this horizontal line, but they are not gonna touch it. Okay, because there are values, so on and so forth here. And it divided into segments. So from the center, go down to the left, we call that standard deviation below. And from the center, go down to the right, we call that standard deviation above. So if you are going to ask why standard deviation below, why you use standard deviation above? Because in the x and y axis, the left side has the negative value. That's why we use the term below, right? And in the right side, that is the positive value. That's why we use the term above. Okay, now, in a normal distribution, mean, median, and mode are equal. So it is important that is it important to understand that in a normal distribution, the mean, median, and mode are equal. And it is always at the center. So now, this is the perfect illustration of a normal distribution wherein there's a mean, median, and mode at the center. And from the center, go down to the left, the first segment is that we called one standard deviation below. And the from the center, the second segment, we call that two standard deviation below. And from the center, go down to the right, the first segment, the one standard deviation above, and then so on. So for you to have a better understanding on how to get the value of each segment, we have examples here. So sketch the normal distribution curve if the mean is 48 and the standard deviation is 13. And the questions are, what is the first standard deviation below the mean? What is the second standard deviation above the mean? And what is the third standard deviation below the mean? So before we're going to answer these three questions, we need to sketch first the normal distribution curve. So now we already have a normal distribution curve. It's stated there that the mean is 48. And said a while ago that in the normal distribution curve, the mean, median, and mode is always at the center. So automatically, we put the 48 at the center. All right. And it's stated there that the standard deviation is 13. So how are we going to get the value in each segment if the standard deviation is 13? So simply, okay, let's get the standard deviation below. So in the left side. So simply, we were going to minus the 13 on the given mean, which is 48. So it's like this, 48 minus 13, and that is 35. So 35 is the value of the first standard deviation below. And then 35 minus 13, that is 22. And 22 is the value of a second standard deviation below. And then so on, 22 minus 13, that is 9. And then in the right side, here, the right side, if we were going to minus the standard deviation to the left side, here in the right side, we're going to add. So this like 48 plus 13, that is 61. So the first standard deviation above, the value is 61. And then 61 plus 13, that is 74. And 74 plus 13, that is 87. So now that we are done getting the value of each segment, we can already answer the 3 questions, which is, what is the first standard deviation below the mean? And that is 35, right? And what is the second standard deviation above the mean? That is 74. And what is the third standard deviation below the mean? And that is 9. This is so very simple, and I hope you understand on this topic. So now that we're done on the normal distribution, let's go to the skewed distribution. So skewed distribution, a skewed distribution is neither symmetric nor normal because the data values trails off more sharply on one side than on the other. So as you can see in the picture that in the skewed distribution, no, is dili na siya maingon nato nga symmetric because there is one tail nga more sharply than the other. And there are 2 types of skewed distribution, and that is negative skewed or the left skewed distribution and the positive skewed or the right skewed distribution. So a right skewed distribution is also called a positive skewed distribution because the tail is longer in the positive direction of number line. So as you can see in the picture that the tail is longer on the right side. And in the x and y axis, we all know that in the right side is a positive value. That's why the right skewed also called positive skewed. And next, in the right skewed, the highest is the mean, followed by median, and the mode is the lowest. So the example here, the mode is 20, the median is 30, and the mean is 40. So the one thing that you need to know in the right skewed is that the highest is the mean. The mean has the highest value and the mode is the lowest. So if you were going to ask why the mode is the lowest, but in the picture, the mode has the longest line here. So in the x-axis here, I mean in the y-axis here, this is the number of students, wherein there are 600 students overall. But here in our mode, there are a lot of students got this score of 20. And we all know that when we say mode, that is the repeated value. So that's why our mode is 20, followed by median, that is 30, and the mean is the highest, and that is 40. And that's the only thing that you need to understand in the right skewed, that the highest is the mean, followed by the median, and the mode is the lowest. Okay, now, here in the left skewed distribution are also called negative skewed distribution because there is a long tail in the negative direction of the number line. So as you can see in the picture that in the left skewed, the tail is longer to the left side. So that's why it is called left skewed. So in left skewed, the highest is the mode, followed by the mean. And the mean, the highest is the mode, followed by the median, and the mean is the lowest. So here in the left skewed, that there are a lot of students got the score of 70. That's why this is our mode. And followed by median, 60, and the lowest is the mean. And this is the only thing that we need to understand in the left skewed, that the highest is the mode, followed by median, and the mean is the lowest. So that's the only thing. So for us to have a better understanding of this, we have a quick exercise. So here, the first example, mean is equal to 10, median is equal to 20, and mode is equal to 40. So the mode has the highest value. So this is negative skewed. Okay, the second example, the mode is equal to 40, mean is equal to 10, median is equal to 7. So that is positive skewed because the mean has the highest value. Okay, the third example, the mean is equal to 6, the median is equal to 4, the mode is equal to 2, and that is positive skewed again because the mean has the highest value. And lastly, mean is equal to 8, median is equal to 8, and mode is equal to 8. So what is this? That is normal distribution. Because as I said a while ago, that the only thing you need to understand in the normal distribution is that the mean, median, and the mode are equal. Okay? So before we end this, let's summarize our topic. So what distribution is neither symmetric nor normal because the data value trails off more sharply on one side than on the other. So that is skewed distribution. Next, also called Gaussian distribution or bell curves because of their shape. That is normal distribution. So this is a type of skewed distribution. The tail is longer in the positive direction of number line. So this is right or positive skewed. And lastly, two types of skewed distribution. the positive or right skewed, and the negative or left skewed. So that's all for my topic, normal and skewed distribution. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.